What's up, team? Welcome to another Friday filler. I hope you're all having a great day. Okay, so this week I'm going to show you how I set up my rig for nymphing. I'm going to show you how I do it and then try and catch a fish using it. Alright, so today I'm using a 6-weight rod, fairly fast action, and a floating line, Amplitude MPX. Great line for nymphing, great line just for everything. Anyway, so 6-weight rod, 6-weight line, and now I'm going to show you what I do with the rest of it. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with about a foot of like 10-pound fluoro. So not very long, and basically this is just the first step down from the fly line to the leader. So I'm just going to put a loop in the end of that, so you can use whatever knot you like to create a loop. I like the Perfection loop myself. It's real quick, it's real strong, it's real neat. Does the job for me. So they're going to show up. So yeah, Perfection loop, simple. Then I'm going to take the end of my fly line and I'm just going to loop that. Like, super simple, super easy. And that's going to act as my step down between that thick fly line and that thinner leader material. Okay, so fly line, about a foot, drop that. So from there I'm going to drop down to, I've got 7-pound fluoro, but 8 pounds fine, so 7 or 8 pounds off the end of that. So I use Scientific Angler's 7-pound fluoro. Works really well, been running it for a couple of years now, really like it, really strong, real good stuff. And I'm going to use a blood knot to join those two. I actually did a tutorial on how to tie a blood knot a couple of episodes ago, so I'll leave a link to that in the description below, or if I can work out how to do it, I'll leave it in the video somewhere. But really, whatever knot you like to use will suffice. Once you've got that joined, it'll look something like that. So fly line, then like a foot of 10-pound blood knot to 7 or 8 pound. So from here then I'm going to add, I'm probably going to run about like 8 feet of the 7-pound, and then I'll then drop down to maybe a couple of feet of 6-pound, usually. That's what I'll normally do, but because the river I'm fishing today, it's up a little bit and there's a bit of colour in it and there's some big fish in here, I'm just going to run 7-pound right the way to the fly. Okay, so I'm going to probably go 5, 6, 7, 8, probably 9, maybe 10 feet. 10 feet maybe. And I'm going to run that straight to the fly. What I would normally do is go 8 feet-ish and then another blood knot and then step down to like 6-pound, 5 or 6 pound for that tippet section and then tie those to the flies. But I'm not going to do that today. Right, so from here I'm then going to go to my dropper fly, my heavy fly, tie that bad boy on. Yeah. Sweet, so I'm going to go straight to my 101, love it. And then from there I'm then going to take, again, I'm going to run a continuation of that 7-pound just because of the conditions. But if I had dropped down to 5 or 6 pound, it would then be another little piece of that. Maybe, probably maybe a foot today, but I'd go up to maybe 18 inches if the water was a bit clearer. Just to make it look a little bit more natural. It's kind of on the short side, but it'll do. And then on the end of that, I'm going to have my point fly, which is just today going to be a little pheasant tail kind of affair with a little red kind of case over the thorax, like a red flashback pheasant tail, which looks something like that. I don't know if that's coming up. Anyway, so that's about a foot. It's a little, I wouldn't go any shorter than that. I made that a bit short, but it's okay. So point fly, bomb heavier fly. Now I've got about 10 feet of 7, 5, yeah, about 7, and then a foot of 10 to my fly line. Like I say, I'd normally do that step down, but today I just don't need to, so I'm not going to bother. Lastly, indicator. So, I've got a bag of sheep's wool. Now, I've just been running some regular sheep's wool that I've treated in Loon Aquel. No, I've treated in that Loon Hydro Stop. If you want to make it easier on yourself, just go to New Zealand Strike Indicator Company and grab what they've got. So basically what I tend to run is you have thick tubing, the extra large stuff, and then the thin tubing. The thin stuff is really good when you want to be more subtle and you're using smaller flies, you know, shallower water, spookier fish, that kind of thing. And then you've got the thick stuff when you want to use a bit more weight and heavier flies, faster water, and get those flies down deep with a bit more material. So I've basically just cut a tiny piece of tubing, and now all I'm going to do from here is I'm going to loop over my fly line, my leader, sorry. I'm going to loop over my leader, kind of double it back on itself, and then I'm going to push that through that tubing. So it looks something like that. Cool. Alright. Now I'm going to get my sheep's wool. That's good. And I'm just going to pull it apart and I'm going to tease it apart. I'm kind of line it all up so it sits all neat. So then I'm going to get my loop in the leader and I'm going to put it straight over the middle of that wool. And I'm going to trap it. I'm going to push that tubing up like that and I'm going to trap it. Make sense? Hopefully you can see. Now I'm basically going to push that up and I'm going to trap that in that tubing so it looks something like that. Just going to make that a little bit neater. Get my scissors, chop that off, and there's my indicator. Now the beautiful thing about that is that just sits there like that, and I can move that up and down the line depending on how deep I want to fish. Obviously the closer I move it to the flies, the shallower it's going to fish, and the further away from the flies, the deeper I'm going to fish. So with this rig, depending on what water I come across, I don't have to untie and rechange. I can just slide this up and down, and makes it really quick and easy to change the depth of fishing. So now I'm just going to get some Aquel or some gink or whatever it is you use. I'm just going to fluff that indicator up with a bit of lube, and I'm good to go. Boom. Super quick, super simple. Now I like this style for nymphing better than a tapered leader because this smaller diameter of the line right from the word go means those flies sink really, really quickly, and that's really good. Get those flies down straight away and get them fishing in the zone. Hopefully that all made sense. A foot of 10-pound, step down to your 7 or 8 pound, and then step down to a few feet of 5 or 6 pound tippet, and then tie your flies on. And then you've got your indicator, which you can slide up and down, and you've got a really versatile rig. You can fish a lot of different kind of water with. That's done. Let's try and find a fish and use this to try and catch it. again this week, guys. Really appreciate you dropping by. If you like it and it was helpful, give me a thumbs up. Anything you want to see, bang it in the comment section below. And if you haven't already, smash that subscribe button for me. Tick that little bell thing so you get notified of when my next video is, Tuesday. And I guess I'll see you on the next one. Have a good weekend. Go fishing.